Pau Hana Years, a new day for older Americans, a time for living. Your host, Bob Barker.
Hi, and welcome to the program for and by the senior citizens of Hawaii. Today on Pau Hana Years, our guest is Nina Tinova, former European ballerina, a member of the Diaghilev Ballet Company, and soloist of the world's greatest stages. Nina, you're living here now, but you're not originally from Hawaii, are you?
No, I'm from Russia, St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg?
Yeah, and I was brought up by my parents, mostly by my governesses, because my parents always traveled. They never were in St. Petersburg. They always were in some other parts of Europe. And so when they came, they entertained a lot, so I never had much chance to even see them.
Oh, is that so?
And they entertained, especially I want to mention, Bob, in a very beautiful room. They had, my father loved roses, and he had about 200 different roses from all different parts of the country. And some roses were 6 feet tall, and some were white, and they were called vierge, which means virgin. And some were black, and they were called nocturne. And some were red, and they were called Tzigane. And there was Empress Josephine, oh, so many, Fandango, you know. And that was his biggest pride.
Did you share your father's love for those roses?
No, I was very jealous, because I was never allowed to go into that room with unescorted. And I saw him almost making love to these roses. I was
you were
jealous
of the you were jealous of the roses then?
Yes, I don't know. My father, I was jealous that my father gives all the attention to the roses, and I hardly ever speak to him. And so one day when nobody was looking, I decided to do something, and I took the roses together with the buds and threw them out the window.
How old were you? How old were you then?
I was about 8 years old. And all of a sudden then I was told, when my father heard about it, to go to my room and stay there. And I had all the meals served in my room, and I was never allowed to go out for 3 weeks. And after 3 weeks, I was called into the dining room where they were finishing dining, and I kissed their hands, as it's a custom in Russia, and I was told that the next morning I'm leaving for Switzerland into a boarding school.
Oh, boarding school in Switzerland?
Yes, and in Lausanne, and for about many years. So when I was saying goodbye in the morning, my father refused to kiss me goodbye, and so I left with a very heavy heart.
Then you went to school in Switzerland for many years, and what was that school like?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was like a big white castle, and surrounded by about 1,000 acres of forest. And it housed so many beautiful works of art of the Renaissance era, you know. And the directors of this school was a lady, former lady-in-waiting of the German Empress. So everything was very formal. 3 different languages were spoken at different places, like at tables, in dormitories, and so forth, and changing every week. And they were English, German, and French.
And you had to know all those languages then?
Well, French I knew because when I was born, then, you know, I learned French and Russian.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew French, but the others I had to learn, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
were your days in a boarding school like that any different than they were in other boarding schools?
very different. For instance, usually instead of morning prayers, you know, we had to salute, learn how to salute royalty when they would come to visit us in 3 different languages. Now, I will tell you in German, no, first in English. We have the honor to greet Your Royal Highness, German. Ich habe die Ehre zu begrüßen Ihre königliche Hoheit. French. Nous avons l'honneur de saluer Votre Altesse Impériale. And after that, whoever comes, whether it's from Germany or from France or England, you know, we have to go into a royal bow, which we had to rehearse with our ballet mistress. And that was instead of the prayers.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh. When did you go back to Russia then when you graduated from that school?
No, I didn't go back to Russia. I didn't want to. First of all, my parents were all killed off. Everybody was killed, you know, by the communists. So
While you were in school?
while I was in school, yes.
Oh.
So then Madame, who was the directress, right? She had somebody else there from Alsace-Lorraine who had to leave. Her mother came to get her. Well, the girl's name was Lolo, I remember, and Lolo and I were big friends, and she just begged her mother, you know, to allow me to go with them to Alsace-Lorraine.
Because you had no place to go?
No.
Mm.
So I went.
You went with them to Alsace?
I went, didn't get there because we went to Alsace-Lorraine. Then at one station, since my fantasies were all in Paris because I heard so much from my parents about France and Paris when they come back and so forth, that was my goal. And so as soon there was a station where I think there was about 15 minutes wait, you know, Lolo and her mother went out. They asked me to go out. I said, no, thank you. I'll wait here. And as soon as they left, I ran to the ticket office and got myself a ticket to Paris. I went into the train, and I said to myself, as soon as the wheels started to turn, you know, I said to myself, quelle joie. At least no more chaperones. You know, I was very happy.
How old were you then?
I was 14.
Did you have any money?
Very little, but it didn't matter, you know, because I wasn't concerned about money. As a matter of fact, I never saw money until when I left. I never saw what money looked like.
Didn't handle any.
So I wasn't very much concerned because I didn't know the value of it, you know.
Well, then when you got to Paris, what did you do about living?
Well, I registered in a hotel, and I had very little money, but anyway, I didn't think about it. I went out on the street and to take a little stroll and to see all the beautiful things that Paris has to offer, you know, the l'Arc de Triomphe and the different things that are always here and certain beautiful houses. Well, so when I was just standing admiring one of the buildings, somebody said, Mademoiselle, est-ce que vous êtes un modèle? Are you a model? I said,
are you a model? He asked you.
And I said, no. Would you like to be one? I said, yes. So he said, follow me.
Oh.
Well, I followed him, and you know, we came into great big, I don't know, it's not like a house. It's something, a huge room, like a
Studio?
like a studio, a huge studio. And there's a lot of groupings of finished and unfinished sculptures, you know. Well, he told me, you know, he said, I won't be able to use you because you're too skinny. But I thought that all my friends, artists, painters, will love to have you, and so I'll give you a whole list of names and addresses, and you sit down here and you go to them, and they will use you because you are très typé. Typé means you are a type.
Oh, I see.
You know? And so I did. Well, anyway, then I got a lot of modeling engagements. And this helped me to pay for my ballet studies.
Oh, you were studying ballet then. You wanted to study ballet
Yes.
then. I
And
see.
the first day I arrived, I got the opportunity to do so. So my first teacher, of course, I say of course because, I mean, she was very famous, Madame Nijinsky. She was a sister of the very famous ballet dancer, Nijinsky.
Oh, Nijinsky's sister.
Yeah,
Oh.
and also, but she was in her own right, she also was a choreographer, and she was a teacher and a ballerina. So I enjoyed her lessons very much. Of course, I had lessons before, you know. I had 2 years at home and 4 years
School.
in school, and so I continued. But then, all of a sudden, I heard that Uncle Vanya is in Paris. And Uncle Vanya was the choreographer to Anna Pavlova and her constant traveling companion. And he choreographed all her beautiful dances.
Oh.
And he opened a studio in Paris with a little French bulldog, because it belonged to Anna Pavlova, and she gave it to him. Well, that bulldog only loved one room, the dressing room, because he chewed up all the toe shoes. But no one was allowed to even mention it, you know.
How long did you study ballet before you had your first professional engagement?
Well, after Uncle Vanya, I studied about almost 4 years between Madame Nijinsky and Uncle Vanya, you know. And then my first professional engagement was with Diaghilev.
Oh, the famous Diaghilev of
The
the
famous
ballet
Diaghilev,
company.
yes.
Oh.
He formed the first ballet company in the world.
Oh.
And he also was known to create great people, because the ballet, you know, involved music, painting, dance, you see. So he created Picasso, for instance, and Stravinsky, Utrillo, Ravel, all these, Nijinsky, Pavlova, all these people, you know.
What was he like in the company?
He was the king of the ballet world, you know, because, I don't know, everybody was in awe of him. If we would be rehearsing, for instance, in a studio, and he'd walk in, everybody, including the prima ballerinas, would sink into a very low bow, a royal bow.
Oh, the royal bow.
Yes.
Now
Would you like?
you have some, yes, you have some of your students here. They're going to show us how to do the royal bow. Is
Yes,
that
if
it?
you'd like
All
to
right.
see them.
Yes, let's watch the girls. Will you tell us who they are then, as
Yes.
as we see them with the bow? Mhm.
Well, the first girl would be Holly McLean. Second girl, Erica Helm.
Oh yes.
Third girl, Betsy Kawamura. Now you know what the royal bow is?
Yes, that's the royal bow, huh?
Yes. The head, you see, when you are all dressed in an evening gown, for instance, so your head looks like the forehead is on the floor. It's very beautiful.
Well, now your students that are here are going to perform a number for us. What is this first number they're going to do for us?
The first number, they're going to do a étude by Chopin, also called Papillon. And well, I must tell you that Chopin is very much beloved by ballet dancers because it has an ethereal quality, and so has ballet, you know.
Mhm.
So that's why I chose, you know, Chopin, because of the young girls, you know.
Yes. Oh, fine. Betsy Kawamura and
Betsy.
Holly McLean
Yes,
are going to dance to an etude by Chopin, also called Papillon.
yes.
Nina, do you have any advice for young dancers starting their careers?
Yes, you know, when I started my career, you know, I started in the studios, in ballet studios. Then I was on the stage. Then I went back to the classroom as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I feel is most important, that when girls learn a movement technically, they have to learn to project it, or to project a mood, so they can communicate with the audience. And without this magic quality, I don't think there would be any Nureyev or Pavlova or no one.
Oh, yes. Well, now 3 of your students are going to dance another number for us. Betsy and Holly are joined by Erica Helm, is that correct?
Yes.
To dance to Chopin's Nocturne.
Yes.
That was lovely. Nina, how long have you lived in Hawaii?
Oh, a little over 2.5 years.
2.5 years?
Yes.
And you are teaching ballet here now?
Well, I was teaching first. In the beginning, I was at the University of Hawaiʻi, and then I started to teach at the Academy of Theater Arts.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh. And you have just what, advanced students, is that it?
Advanced students only, yes.
Well, now, many of the ballet movements are so flowing and so graceful, like swimming. So the girls are going to dance that last number again, huh? Joined by others with that graceful, flowing movement. Nina, thank you so much for visiting with us. Our guest, Nina Tinova, former European ballerina, a member of the Diaghilev Ballet Company, and soloist to the world's greatest stages. And that's Pau Hana Years for today. Until our next program, this is Bob Barker leaving you with this thought. Music and dance express that which cannot be said and on which it is impossible to be silent.